What is up, everyone? As you can obviously tell, it's a little bit grayer up in here than normal, but that's only because it's storm season, whatever. Not it's not even the summer; it's the winter, and we're getting like storms and stuff. Like I'm expecting it to snow, but I don't want it to snow. I don't want this to become cruise weather again. You remember, like when because of what happened with cruise. Uh, all right. So to start off, I'm trying to think more positively because I keep getting I keep getting hit with like thing after thing. Um, this past week actually, so at my job clearly it's a clothing store, so I have to wear clothes that came from the job. You kind of just sort of like be a fashion kind of like have like a fashion show type, not fashion show, but just basically let people know, hey, we work here. You could tell by our clothes, and you can tell by our clothes, and you can tell by our gear and our atmosphere. So I forgot my shoes, and one of my coworkers was actually about to buy me some shoes because his discount was going to have it like he was going to end up having the shoe be like $10, but because I was in panic mode and I was so obsessed with just doing the right thing anyway, I actually clocked out, went back home, got my shoes, came back to work, you know, and this dude like it's like looking back at it, it's like I realize now that there was a bit of a metaphor there. There was like a lesson that I had to learn there. It was like I need to stop like I need to stop denying help in the expense of me trying to do things myself. Like I know I can be independent. I know that I can do things for myself. But I but it's like if help is being offered, I need to accept the help because there's no chance. There's a possibility that that will probably never happen again for me. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a case of I really have to take into consideration that I just need to start like realizing that I don't need to panic when it comes to everything. Sometimes just accept the help. We're still like it was nothing really bad for my coworker. You know what I'm saying? Me and my coworker we're not like enemies or anything like that. But it's just like it made me realize it more or less made me realize that like if anybody was in the wrong in nobody was in the wrong. But if there was, it would be me because I overreacted. So there's that. Secondly, I showed my mom my YouTube account. I basically not really showed her, but I basically she's like in another state, so I basically like sent her my my YouTube information so she could like watch this stuff. Just because like I don't really call her as much as I like to because I'm usually at work, I'm usually busy, or I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I just forget, and it feels bad to say that I forget. I feel bad to say that I be forgetting to call my mama, but life gets in the way sometimes. It's like either I'm working or she's working or, different time zone. I mean, not different time zones. So it's like, maybe she be asleep when I'm not or I be asleep when she's not or stuff like that. It's just a lot. So I, just want to, so I figured like this would be kind of like a good way to sort of keep my mom up on how I'm doing and stuff like that. It's like just here you go, mom. You know, check me out every Monday. So I know that because my mom is watching it now, obviously whatever raunchy stuff I have going on, I'm gonna try my best to keep that down because it's not that like my mom is a very she's a very open-minded, logical person. So she understands that because I'm an adult, I'm going to probably talk about adult things, but it's still like a case of I just don't want my mama to just look at me and go, "I raised that boy better than that." You know what I mean? So there's that. Next up, so there's this app. It's called Library Plus. I think it's also called Comics Plus, depending on like which app you use. I went over to this library because I noticed that the library here didn't have it, and so I actually went over to the library and just asked them, "Hey, could you maybe check it out?" I was talking to one of the people who was in charge of the overall library, and she's just like the sweetest person. So it's like in my brain, I'm just thinking like the thing, being in the library and talking to the one of the administrators of the library, it just reminded me that like librarians and libraries in general are just great things, just great things that as a society we just need to take. It's like I'm glad we don't take full on advantage of it, because some people would take full on advantage of it and just destroy it. You know what I mean? But like the library is basically the best example of. I feel like the library is like the best example of everything that's incorrect about every right wing theory, because it's like because it's ultimately like, we have access to a resource that can empower us to do such amazing things, that can get us to think in a different way and get us to do things the way that we need to do. And libraries are A, still here, B, not destroyed, C, like the library is, it's not like there is no like you can't just go to a library and be like, oh, this book, not only do they not have this book, but this book is just completely wiped out, like nobody has it because everybody just got this book in their house now. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like that. It's just like, oh, well, what if they use it to do some terrible stuff? And it's like nobody has ever said, I went to the library to learn how to do terrible stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, well, what if they just completely like take full advantage of it and destroy it? Every library, every place every place that you have ever been in has a library. When I was in Georgia, there was literally a library being built down the street from where I lived. I could walk to that library, which I did sometimes. Great place, by the way. It was really nice. It was like the coolest collection of librarians I ever met. Like, man, all black women, all fans of anime. Crazy. Um, so that was that. But it's a lot of stuff that goes into this that I just didn't bother to. It's just something that about the library that just made me realize like this is the perfect place. It's like every single argument that Republicans can have about anything being given to poor people in a copious amount, the library provides. And so far, it's still around. It's still useful. Good things are still happening with it, and people still have access to it for free. If the library was connected to if libraries were connected to homeless shelters, it would be like the perfect place in America. You know what I'm saying? You could be poor, you could just go to the library. Like you could just go to the library's homeless shelter, sleep. Be at home, then go get a book, learn some stuff. That's all I'm saying, man. I just think that that's crazy. Uh, so yeah, but I was there talking with the lady about trying to get a Comics Plus into their catalog, and I'm just hoping that something happens. You know what I'm saying? Uh, what else? I also want to believe that Donald Trump is going to lose the election. I really do. Like, I want to believe that smart people kind of outrank dumb people. I want not outrank, but outnumber dumb people. You know what I mean? I really kind of need. I need that to be kind of like, the belief that I have, because I'm trying to think more positively now. And like while the system is still pretty corrupt and like right wing leaning, and kind of pushing towards like white supremacy, just trying to be like the best thing. I also want to believe that people will rise above that and challenge it and defeat it, because like we're tired. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I would rather, like, I don't care who wins as long as it's not Donald Trump. That's all I'm saying. Shoot. I'm not as anybody who knows, my political party is basically me. I'd sooner vote for myself before I support a party. But I just know that, like, white supremacy has to lose, and I want to believe that now people are realizing that the Republican Party is a party of white supremacy and is actively challenging and fighting against it. And as I say that, I remember that I am currently in a bit of a flame war with a black Republican on Instagram right now. And this poor guy, he is like too far gone. Everything about him, every response he has is Biden is worse. Biden is worse, and I'm just like, I don't care, man. I'm not a fan of Biden. I'm not. Uh, don't really. I realize now that I don't follow a lot of entertainment news because I don't care about entertainment stuff that much. I am a fan. I am a fan of the comedian Kyle Kinane, and I need to say that better. I'm a fan of Kyle Kinane, and he is. You know, I think that he's hilarious. I saw a couple of his stand-ups, and the guy, I don't know. I get it. Like his humor is something that I gravitate to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like it's granted it's loud, it's obnoxious, but like sometimes he just says things and it's just like wow, that's Uncle Barbecue does indeed have hilarious dumb stories, but because I'm a fan of his and I realize that he hasn't really done a whole lot of specials like that. I look for what he's currently doing, and I came across the Not Accounted for Taste podcast that he co-host, and so I listened to that, and like I said, it's completely out of touch from anything that I would probably be interested in. But also, I don't know if y'all can notice it or not, but yes, these are indeed new glasses. I accidentally dropped my old ones, and the lens fell out. So now I'm wearing new ones, which obviously looks like somebody punched me in the face. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it looks kind of like inward or whatever. I don't know why I told y'all that, but yeah, but it's just like when the frame came in, I guess because I haven't worn them in a while, they bent in the middle. So I have to adjust them. But also, obviously, my head is a little slanted, so I have to let's see. Yeah, but yeah, though. So like I said, I check it. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I have like no clue about. Like, cause I don't follow a lot of music. I don't listen to a lot of music, so I don't know any musical bands. He one time made a reference towards Margaritaville by late Jimmy Buffett, and I was like, I had never heard that song before. And it's just like it's a lot of stuff that I don't know. And I didn't think that I was going to really be that fan of any podcast, but it's like, holy crap, I'm listening to this one because Kyle Kinane, he's hilarious. But yeah, it's a different change of pace from his stand up, but I think it's funny. But also, it made me think to myself that because I also do a podcast on Sunday on Anchor. Uh, so I probably might do a podcast here also on YouTube because there is a podcast option. So there's that. So I don't know yet, but something might shake. I'm trying my best to just get myself as active as possible so I can give myself a routine so I can maintain what little bit of sanity that I have. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I gotta get back to doing other stuff. I'm trying to learn some mental math using the great courses slash Wandrium. I mean, but that's it. Y'all be easy, love and peace, and be safe out there. It sounds like a storm coming.